So hi everyone. So I'm gonna call this meeting to order on March 23rd, 2021, and it is 3:02 p.m. So we will start with the adoption of the minutes. 2.1 BC PNP Committee Minutes, June 11, 2020. I know it's been a long time since we had that meeting, so if anyone wants to move.
So moved.
And Ryan, do you want to second that?
I'll second that.
So the recommendation that the minutes of the BC PNP committee held on June 11, 2020 be adopted. 3 point, unfinished business, I guess we don't have any. 4 new businesses, 4.1 program update. Will George.
Excellent, thanks Manuel. And yeah, so I will just jump in here with a bit of program updates. I was able to have a chance to speak with the BC PNP provincial representatives prior to the call and receive some updates. Now, this information here will just be around where we are to date with the program, as well as where we are locally with our applicants. So I'll share some information here, and let me just pull up my notes there. There we go. So we do have indication that the BC PNP program, as we know it, concludes as of March 31st, but they have gone through the process, and they are looking at extending the program for 3 years moving forward instead of the 2 years which we had initially. So that's quite exciting news. There will be some changes, and of course they've talked to our community and talked to all municipalities that are participating around taking into some of those considerations and some of those items that communities found were some barriers and some things to change as they move forward for the 3-year extension for the program. They are asking for municipalities to provide a letter that they would like to continue with the program. They haven't sent that out yet, so we're still waiting on that. And they said they will be sending that out they'll be sending that out shortly. And individual communities have until June 30th to reapply to join the BC PNP program. Some of the changes they did note with this program as it shifts to a 3-year extension is they are going to be increasing the number of NAICS, which is quite exciting because I know that we've had conversations around the table here that the 3 NAICS that we have are a little limiting, and we want to change them a little bit more. So they did say that we'll have opportunities for up to 8 NAICS codes at the 4-5 level. So that gives a lot more variation. And they did say as well that there's more flexibility with the program, so we can change those annually if we wish, and we can add additional ones on there. So that's quite exciting news. They tweaked as well that they are looking for some reporting to the BC PNP program. And as you're all aware, I do present quarterly reports to council. And I went through with the province if that type of format would make sense and would be fine with them to share. And they said something like that is completely fine. So they're looking for more information because right now they only see the applicants to go through the full system and receive those letters of referral from the individual municipalities. So they want to be a little bit more involved in the process. And they also did say that the minimum requirements for the BC PNP online score, they're setting at about 105. Now, we've always said minimum score of around 100. We've received some in the past that have been under that. And we've asked the applicants to look a little bit further, do a little bit more research and information in order to bring that up. So it's not a huge change for us, but I think there are probably some municipalities that have not looked at that as a minimum score, but most of our applicants that we're reviewing are around that already. So that's good news there. I will share as well, so they are looking, we did talk to them following the request from Community Futures to council regarding the designated contact person, and council did vote that that staff look into this and to see if Community Futures can be changed to the designated contact person for the program. So And I will send this out to the committee following the meeting, but I'll just read out a little bit of the information that they provided in response to this. So they did have some concern around changing the contact person to Community Futures from the municipality. They noted that if this was the case and we wanted to explore this avenue, they asked what is the authority for the designated contact person to be accountable for signing of the letters of referral? What is the reporting structure to the municipality or regional district? What is the connection between the key contact and the local government? And what is the regular reporting structure? Tell a little bit about the committee, council presentations, accountability. They also mentioned that a designated contact person cannot be someone that works for a profit organization, someone who has a conflict or perceived conflict, or someone who does not have a formal role in economic development function in, with, or for the community. I asked a little bit around some of these designated contact persons and to see if there are some examples that we could look at. And they did mention that they don't have any municipalities that are, the contact person is a separate organization than that provides direct economic development. So they said they would like to have a little bit more information to see the rationale behind moving the contact person from the economic development role over to another organization. So I mentioned that I'd bring this up with the committee, and we can either have a conversation about this today after the report for where we are for our local municipality, or I can send this out, well, I will send this out to the committee for everyone to have a look at. But they said that this is something that they'd like a little bit more information on as we go to reapply for the program. I'll stop it there for now and see if there's any questions before I move on to our local information of where we are for the BC PNP programs, for how many applicants have gone through, and the number of inquiries. So is there any questions for that update on the overview of the program?
No, thank you for the update. We also, I think that as part of the research I did back in November last year, so I contacted through Community Futures Nicola Valley a few organizations, and they mentioned that, or municipalities in this case, and it was mentioned that some of those communities had either a Chamber of Commerce representative or Community Futures as a designated person. So, but again, just send that email to us after that, and we can follow up.
Just ignore, I think,
I think we can continue with the meeting.
Okay,
So,
is there any other questions regarding the overview of the program before I move on to the individual updates for our community for a number of inquiries? Okay. All right, looks like there isn't for there. So I'll just provide a little bit of an overview here of where we are to date. And this is as of yesterday, where we are since starting the program March 14th. Oh, wow. March 14th, 2019. So to date, we have received 308 inquiries from foreign entrepreneurs and immigration consultants. So it's great. We're getting lots of inquiries there. Since last quarter, we have received 16 business inquiries on this program. So definitely a lot less than how we have in the beginning. And since December 31st, 2020, we've hosted 20 community exploratory visits with foreign entrepreneurs. We haven't hosted any to date since December until now, of course, due to the travel restrictions. So we haven't had any of those, but there currently are 18 foreign entrepreneurs who have submitted all of the required documents and information and are planning on visiting Merritt for their exploratory visit once international travel opens up and they feel comfortable arriving for their exploratory visit. To date, we have provided 14 letters of referral from the BC PNP committee, 7 of which are under miscellaneous retail. So some of those include categories under gift shops, office supplies and stationery stores, our sewing machine business. That's Mr. Simon Ho, who has gone through the full program. He's just submitted his business license, and he is setting up in town here. So I'll be able to share some information once we have an opening date and once we have a little bit more info there. But he'll be our first foreign entrepreneur to open up, and it's quite exciting that that he'll be joining our business community here. And then we do have the remaining 7 of the 14 letters of referral are with the truck transportation sector here. So we don't have any for warehousing and storage, but we do have some inquiries, and we have some individuals that have submitted all their paperwork, but they haven't yet come for their exploratory visit. There has been 5 applications denied for letters of referral, and we are reviewing 1 application today. We do have 2 more that have come through for their exploratory visits, submitted all the required paperwork, and we were just waiting for that request form. But I reached out to both of them prior to this meeting, and they let me know that they're not quite ready to submit that official letter of request for a letter of referral. They need to sort some stuff out first. So we're holding on to those 2 at their request. So that's the update of where we are locally. Is there any questions on that?
So, Will, do you have any update on Mohammed Al Nassan application?
So let me just, if you give me 1 second there, I'm going to pull up his file, and I can just provide a bit of an update on that. 1 second. If you would like to maybe continue on with the agenda, once I have the file in front of me, then I can jump back in and answer that response, if that's fine with you.
Before that, I can just provide a quick overview. So that application was discussed, well, we discussed that application back in June 11, and as you know, he arrived to Canada, I believe, last year. So he's been in Canada without the proper status for that long. So if I'm not mistaken, her application is, I received a call from him, and he mentioned that his application scored very low for the BC PNP, and they have put him in a selective pool. That's all what I remember from that applicant. And right now, last thing he said that he was going to be applying for the refugee status. And I'm sure that we'll have more information about this application. So I just want to follow up with him. So since he's been in our community for over a year now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your patience. So I was able to pull up his file. When there's 308 applicants, you know, you have to take a minute or so just to find the file that we're looking for here. So yes, so we did have a look and provide that letter of referral, and it was reviewed by the BC PNP committee. Unfortunately, as Manuel just mentioned, it didn't have a high enough score. So we did encourage the applicant to reapply and reapply with a higher BC PNP online score, either you know, tweaking the applications that he's putting forward or providing a little bit more information, because we do need to hit around that 100 to, you know, higher mark there. He has expressed some interest and reached out to us around the work permits and anything we can do, but unfortunately we've you know, said as the community that we believe you know, he has a letter of referral from the city. So, you know, we've encouraged him to apply, and, you know, are helping him through that process. But until he applies with an updated version, you know, there isn't really a role that the city can play in his work permit. That's with the province.
Okay, thank you for the update. Are there any other questions for Will before we move to the next item? So hearing none, it's we can move to 4.2, Shrang Jumei, and better known as Rebecca. Will, can you provide an overview of that application, please?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Manuel. So you'll see Rebecca's application here in the package, and Rebecca was able to visit the community from November 7th to 11th. She's looking to establish a wine and beer supply retail store. Now, she was able to meet with business support organizations here, and she did revise her business proposal, business plan proposal there to strengthen it a bit around a retail supply. So from our side, we have received all of the basic requirements for the application, and as staff, we're recommending that she be provided with a letter of referral. She meets the basic requirements there. She's revised her plan, and she does have a letter of recommendation from the Sunshine Coast Winemaking Incorporated out of Gibson's there for support. So I know the committee has reviewed those in the past, and it's beneficial to see that she has some local connections here and that she's updated her application. Now, the reason that that we're having a look at her application, usually we bring these forward in a group. But we're looking at hers, the only one today, because the BC PNP program asked that any that we have in the queue are reviewed, and we provide a letter of referral prior to March 31st for this particular pilot program deadline. So I let them know that we'll be providing a yes or a no on this file before it transitions over to the next intake there. And I can answer any questions on the file.
So Ryan, Councillor Fern, do you have any further comments on this application?
I do not, no.
So I just want to add that I did have the opportunity to meet with the client back in November last year. So it has been I have seen a lot of improvement in her business proposal and business plan in this case. So I work specifically with her on their market analysis. So as you can see from the business plan, so she's providing information about province-wise, and also we were trying to do a primary market research just for the Nicola Valley. So we work on cash flow projections. And my only concern at the beginning, it was that she mentioned the production of wine, which in my mind, it was not part of that specific NIC. Now she has geared her business towards the supplying those, providing the supplies for the winemaking. So I don't have any problem. So I have read that business plan, and I feel comfortable moving forward and providing the letter of support. And I would like to hear from Ryan as well as Councillor Fair.
I have not had a chance to read through it, but what I can gather from the initial scan that I've taken through it is, man, what a difference from the initial proposal that we looked at to this one now. There's definitely a lot more knowledge involved here, you know, as far as the, like you say, the market research, but also the, you know, the expense reports are quite much, they're way more in depth than they were when we first did the interview. So I really think that there's a lot of effort been put into this for sure. So good on her.
Okay.
Councillor Fair, you're muted.
Thank you. I would echo what Ryan was saying, that it does look like she's put a lot of work into her preparations. One thing that did occur to me is that it looks a little bit like there's quite a lot of different types of product in the pictures, but I don't know if I'm just not recognizing what's there. It looks a little bit like a grocery store in the pictures of her business in China. So I don't know if that's something that she's planning on transferring here or not, but I haven't read all the details of the business plan either.
Right, she provided some pictures from her current business in China just to prove the retail experience that she has.
Yeah, okay, so that's a bit of a different business model that she has back there, I guess.
That's correct.
Okay, that explains that. So yeah, I'm comfortable with giving this the referral.
Okay, so within the recommendation that the BC PNP committee recommends to cancel, that a letter of referral be provided for Sang Jumei. Who can make the motion?
Do you need a seconder?
I need a motion made first.
Oh, okay, I'll make that motion as stated.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Yep.
In favor.
Thank you. So, Will, is there anything else that you would like to discuss before we end this meeting?
No, that's everything on the agenda, Manuel.
Okay. So if there is nothing further to discuss, I call this meeting to be adjourned. Thank you so much, guys. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. See you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.